Hi everyone, I'm Sarah from Craft with Sarah, and today I'm here with Creative Fabrica in partnership with CraftStash. I'm really excited to have you join me to make this lovely spring-themed craft project using heat transfer vinyl. If you're as excited as I am about creating handy craft projects, don't forget to subscribe to the channel below and turn on notifications to stay updated about all our latest crafty videos. In this video, we're working with this gorgeous heat transfer vinyl and this canvas tote bag to create a flowery tote that's perfect for your shopping, groceries, or even as a handbag. Let's get started. Head to creativefabrica.com and then there are loads of different categories to choose from, but for this one I'm going to click on the crafts category. I'm going to go for spring truck in here and press enter. Click the design I want, which is this one, and then this will show me more information about it. This design is available to download for free with the all access free trial. Click the download button and then it will download to your computer. The download comes in a zip folder and we'll need to unzip this before we can upload the file into Cricut Design Space. To do that on a Windows computer, you simply right click on it and press Extract All. It will then ask you where you want to save it, and I'm going to just keep mine in that place it's recommending, so I can click Extract. And that then makes a copy of the folder, only this time it's different because it doesn't have that little zip on the picture. Now it's time to get the SVG file into Cricut Design Space. Next, go into Upload over on the left, and then Upload Image. So I'm going to go ahead and drag that in, and then this is what it should look like. Press Upload, and then it will appear in your recent uploads. So you can click on it to get the green border, and then press Add to Canvas. This is how our design's looking, and we're going to need to do a little bit of work to this before it's ready to cut out, because if you look down the layers panel on the right hand side at the moment, you see all of these little pieces are actually coming separate, which means if I was to try and cut this out now, it's going to put all of those little pieces in completely random orders on the heat transfer vinyl, and it's not going to keep the order. So you'd have to manually try and match up all of these little petals and pieces into the correct position, which would take hours and hours and probably be pretty much impossible. But luckily, there are some little tricks you can do in Design Space to make it keep all the positioning so that it will make your life 1,000,000% easier. I'll click cancel down here to go back to my project screen. Also, because I don't have any of the vinyl in this colour or the orange, I'm going to do all of my flowers in the pink. So we'll also take a little look at how to change the colours. If you click Colour Sync over on the top right of the screen, this changes the layers panel. So now it's separating things out and organising it by colour. I can see here that the text and the wheels is a slightly different shade of black to each other, but I'm only going to be using the one sheet of black heat transfer vinyl. So what I can do to make this easier is click on one of those blacks on the title, drag it into the other one, and then let go with my mouse. And now that's changed it so it's all the same colour, so that'll cut from the same piece. I've then got my green of the truck and the leaves, which is fine. And here's my pink flower. Then this is my orange, which I need to change to pink. So once again, I'm going to click and drag that in. And you see that change the colour of that flower. And then the same thing for my yellow flower. Click and drag that into the pink. It doesn't matter where you put it, as long as it's in this pink section. And now that one's pink too. And then finally down at the bottom, I've got my yellow, which I'm going to be cutting from a gold kind of holographic vinyl, which is going to look really pretty. So we'll go back to layers over here, and we still need to merge all these pieces together. To start with, click on the whole design where it says group at the top of the layers panel and press the ungroup button, which is this one that appears up here. That's going to separate out the different colours for us. So now if I click here, we can see we've just got this black bit selected, and this is my text that says Welcome Spring. And I'm going to combine all of these pieces into one with the group selected, go to Combine down the bottom and then Weld. And watch, that's now merged them all together so it's just one layer. This is looking much better. We've got much less pieces than we had before. And if I click Make It Now, you see it's better. It's keeping some bits in the right position, but we can improve this. To improve it, we're going to weld all the colours that are the same together again. So I'll start with my top one, which is the black of the wheels. Then press Shift on the keyboard and choose the other black layer, which is the welcome spring down here. And then we'll combine and weld these two together. We're now down to one layer for every colour of vinyl that we want to use. We'll need to resize the design next to fit on the tote bag. And the easiest way to resize it is to group all the layers again, which means we can resize them all in proportion with each other so everything will still line up. To do that, press Select All over on the top and then press the Group button here and watch how the Layers panel changes. Here's my tote bag, which I'll be ironing onto, and also my 4 colours of heat transfer vinyl from CraftStash. I've got my ruler. I'm going to measure it across the middle, and it was folded in half in the packaging, so I've actually got a really great straight line to measure across, which is helpful. And in total, it's about 14.5 inches. Now, when you're putting heat transfer vinyl on something like a bag, you don't want to go too close to the edges, because otherwise, when the bag is filled and all the material expands, it's going to put a lot of pressure on that vinyl if it's too close to the edge. So I'm going to come in a bit. And I think for this truck, anywhere between kind of 8 and 9 inches is going to be about right. I'm going to go slap bang in the middle and go for 8.5 inches. Make sure the padlock icon is closed. If it isn't, then click on it to close it. And I can type 8.5 inches into the width, hit enter on my keyboard, and then you see the height change too, so everything is beautifully in proportion. And now this is ready to cut out from our heat transfer vinyl. Double check you've got the correct machine selected in this drop down, which I do, and then click on Make It. And this will separate out the colours for us, so here are our 4 colours of heat transfer vinyl. The heat transfer vinyl from CraftStash is in A4 size, so I need to change my material size in here to A4, and then this bit is really, really important. Because you're using heat transfer vinyl, you need to cut a mirrored image, which means we're going to cut it backwards. So under all of these colours, you need to change the paper size and also tick this little box that says mirror. And you'll see that's now flipped it on the screen, so you can't read it anymore. But that's okay, we're cutting it in reverse so that once it's ironed on, it will then be the correct way around. And I promise it'll make more sense in a moment. Now I can send this to my Cricut machine by clicking Continue. Pay attention to which screen down the side has the lighter background, as that's the one that the Cricut will cut first. I like to go all the way back up to 1 and then do it in order, so I'll start with my black vinyl. For this heat transfer vinyl, I'm going to click onto Browse All Materials and then type iron into the search and hit enter. And there are loads of different settings to choose from, but for my black vinyl and my green vinyl, I'm going to use the standard iron on setting in Design Space. For my gold vinyl, which is holographic, I use the holographic iron on, and for my pink, which is glitter, I'm going to use glitter iron on. For now, for the black, let's click on iron on and then done. It's telling me to make sure mirror is turned on, which I have done. You can see because it says mirror on here. If you'd forgotten to do it for any of the mats, you can click edit in here and then toggle the mirror on or off. This is now ready for me to load the heat transfer vinyl onto my cutting mat. heat transfer vinyl comes in kind of two layers. There's the vinyl layer, and then there's a clear plastic protector layer on the back. And it's the protector layer side that needs to be touching the stickiness of the cutting mat. So you can see this one's different colours on both sides, so it's a little bit easier to remember. But that black one, it looks pretty much the same on both sides, so it's a bit harder to tell. But what you can do if you're not sure is just get your weeding tool, go right up to one of the corners and very carefully just stick your weeding tool in and peel back a little bit to see the corner. So I'm going to put this right up to the camera. There we go. So I've got my clear plastic here and then my green vinyl's peeled away from it here. So for this case, I want the plastic to touch the stickiness on my mat. So I'm going to put that bit down. Now I know that this is the plastic side. I can get my cutting mat, and I like using the standard grip, the green mats for vinyl. Peel off the protective layer. And then I need to stick this on so that my green side, the plastic side, is on the mat. I'm going to start cutting my iron on now, and I have actually just taken that green I just put on the mat in the previous bit of the video off again, and I've replaced it with the black because the black is what I'm going to be cutting first. So I've got my black HTV on the mat, and then I'm all ready to load it in. Slide your mat into the Cricut machine so that it's pressed up against the rollers, and then press the flashing load unload button to get the mat loaded in. Your Cricut will go away and have a little think about it and also measure the mat. Once that's all finished, the go button will start flashing, so you can press that and then it will start cutting. When it's all finished cutting, press the load unload button to release your mat. Now that piece is finished, Design Space will automatically move it on to the next colour, which is my yellow one. So I'm going to load my yellow heat transfer vinyl on the mat next. And then for this one, I'm going to choose the holographic iron-on setting, which is this one. And then I'll go through and cut that one out, and then I'll do the other two. Once you've cut your heat transfer vinyl, you'll then need to weed away all of the excess, just leaving the bits we want to press onto the tote bag. For that, you'll need a weeding tool, which looks like this. So here's the side that we cut on. And I'm going to take my weeding tool, and I like to start on the outside. So I'm just going to stab that little weeding tool through to separate the vinyl from the backing, and then gently and carefully pull back at a 45-degree angle. If you turn it over, you can see this is now the right way around. And this bit is a little bit tacky, a little bit sticky on the back. And that's what we're going to use to help kind of put it in place on our tote bag in a minute. I'm just going to gently place this on. And now you see why we cut it backwards. It's because when you turn it round again, it then appears the correct way round. For now, I'm just going to move that out the way so I can start up the heat press. I'm using a Cricut Easy Press 3. I've plugged it in, so let's turn it on. So what this is going to do now is it's going to go ahead and heat up to my 140 degrees. The button here is red at the moment. When this is hot, it will go green. So whilst it's doing that, let's just have a look at what else we'll need to press this tote bag. It's really important that you protect your work surface because we're basically putting a really, really hot plate like an iron onto it, and you wouldn't use your household iron on a pure table, so don't use your heat press either. I'm using a heat press mat from Cricut. This is the big one, and this is what the packaging looks like. This is going to protect my work surface from all of that heat. My Easy Press just did a little beep to show me instant temperature, and my button's now gone green, so this is ready to press. When you're pressing heat transfer vinyl, you want to use a Teflon sheet or something similar to go on top of the heat transfer vinyl so that this will sit between the vinyl and the press, just to make sure that the press doesn't stick to anything. You may also want to put something inside if you're doing a tote bag or a t-shirt or something to stop it accidentally sticking both of the sides together when you press it. So if the adhesive went all the way through, you might end up sticking those two bits together. Another Teflon sheet would be great for that, but I don't have another one. Well, I do, but I can't find it. So I'm going to use a piece of parchment paper or baking paper from my kitchen. And now let's get our truck exactly where we want to press it. That looks about right to me. I'm still kind of going along that line. Maybe it needs to be a bit higher up. Maybe more like there. Okay, so then we'll remove the other colours. So I've only got the green. So I'm going to put my Teflon sheet over, and because I'm doing lots of colours and I'm going to need to keep putting my heat on top of this green bit a lot, I'm not going to press it for the full 15 seconds. I'm just going to do maybe kind of 3 to 5 seconds on here just to give it a light tack, and that should be enough for me to take off the plastic sheeting and for the green to be stuck to my bag. But it means that when I add the extra heat for all the other colours, it's not going to overpress the green. So let's give this a try. And this is always the most nerve-wracking bit, putting on the first colour. So let's put that on there. I'm just going to push down. That was about 5 seconds. Then we'll see if that's done it enough. Some are different, but that's doing okay. So this is not completely stuck yet, but that's okay because remember, we're still going to be adding heat to it. There we go, first bit done. Next we can add on the other colours. So I'm going to do the black wheels, and actually I can do the pink flowers too, as long as I cut the plastic bit so that none of it's overlapping. If there's any plastic overlapping, it means the vinyl's going to stick to that plastic, not to the bag. There we go. All right, press round 2. Final colour, I've just got the middle bits of my flowers to go. There we go. It's my final one, and this time I am going to press it for the full 15. So I'll turn off my heat press now with the on-off button, and I've just got to wait for this to cool down a bit, and then I can peel the plastic off of that gold. And here's the finished tote bag. You can see all of those beautiful colours of the heat transfer vinyl from Craft Stash, along with the beautiful design from Creative Fabrica. I am so happy with how this turned out, and I just love how that's going to sparkle in the sunshine when I take it out and about on my shopping trips. I hope that you enjoyed this video and that you found the tips and tricks helpful for your next craft project. Let me know what you think of this gorgeous tote bag in the comments down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, and feel free to share this video with a crafty friend. Make sure to check out the deals in the description to get access to plenty of supplies and resources. Thank you so much for watching. See you next time for some more crafting fun.